How many times have you made changes to your hitting approach based on mechanical tricks and cues from the latest jargon on social media? How'd that work out for you? My guess is not great. I work with hitters who want to be the best. Hitters that not only want to get to the next level, but want to dominate. Having said that, nothing worth striving for is going to be just handed to you. Yet what if I told you you have a superpower ready to apply to your hitting, and with it, you can become a natural hitter? Yet in order to do that, you need to make a fundamental shift from the mechanical model where you're currently getting all your information and make the shift to the timing model. So becoming a natural hitter means learning the natural timing principles. And for that, you need a map, a skill set very few hitters ever achieve, because in order to develop these skills, you need a mentor. If you want to be a great hitter, you got to do what the best hitters do. There's the old way and there's the new way. The old way is a mechanical model. The new way is a timing model that comes with the map. The old way and the new way have both been around for 150 years, yet only a select few hitters ever fully buy in and actually learn to manage the natural timing principles, because a quick mechanical fix is just easier. It takes no effort to guess and chase a feel until you get a result. All the problems you're experiencing, it's timing related. Timing is the missing ingredient. It's the disconnect. It's always been timing. I know what it's like feeling lost and overmatched and overwhelmed. I can tell you this from firsthand experience. The overwhelming sentiment coming from the mainstream is that timing can't be taught. And I'm going to lay out a case for the exact opposite. You're never going to reach your potential chasing a million desperate fixes with the timing you roll out of bed with. You have to be intentional about developing your timing skills. You're working hard, doing everything you can. Get to the ballpark thinking, what's it going to be today? You just want a consistent plan that works. You're prepared for a lot of nuance, and you know you're supposed to take what works for you and discard the rest. I see hitters getting hit with a storm of tips and cues that contradict each other, leaving hitters feeling more lost than ever, and not prepared when game time rolls around, and getting behind in the count, fouling off pitches they shouldn't be swinging at, and freezing on the ones down the middle. The last thing you need when you're staring down a fastball is your mind racing with a million different desperate fixes. And the bottom line, the problem is you get your pitch and you're missing it. Often the problem with jargon cues in social media is they could mean 50 different things to 50 different people. And all it takes is one bad move to set off a chain reaction. When something goes wrong, it's never just one thing. When you violate the natural movement principles, you're risking compounding errors and cascading out of control. The good news is the solution is always simple. When you let your body move the way it wants to move, following principles eliminates the extra timing issues caused by a changing swing timeline. Instead of a million desperate fixes chasing results, you want a short, repeatable swing timeline, giving you the extra bandwidth to focus on the ball, where it should be, on the pitch timeline. Remember the classic film from the 1980s, The Karate Kid? The teenage boy is getting picked on, and Mr. Miyagi agrees to help if he does his part.
I promise teach karate. That's my part. You promise learn. I say you do. No question. That's your part. Deal?
Deal?
Without telling him exactly what he's up to, Mr. Miyagi begins teaching him his martial arts principles through natural everyday activities.
Wax on. Right hand, make a circle. Wax off, left hand, circle. Wax on, wax off. Breathe in, breathe out. Wax on, wax off.
The kid starts getting impatient because he's not aware he's actually learning the moves he's going to need in the most efficient way possible.
You karate training.
I'm what? I'm being your slave is what I'm being, man. Now, we made a deal here.
So?
So you're supposed to teach and I'm supposed to learn, remember? For 4 days, I've been busting my ass. I haven't learned a thing.
You learn plenty.
I learned plenty. I learned how to sand your decks, maybe. I wax your car, paint your house, paint your fence. I learned plenty, right?
Not everything is as simple.
Shit, I'm going home, man.
Daniel-san! Daniel-san!
What?
Come here.
Mr. Miyagi reveals that all along he's been experiencing the moves he'll need for his martial arts training by grounding those moves in normal everyday activities.
Now show me wax on, wax off. Wax on, hat. Wax off, hat. Up, down. Side, side. Show me wax on, wax off. Yes! Start! Come back tomorrow.
The Bernstein principle says the body will organize itself in the most efficient way possible based on the ultimate goal of the activity. And natural hitting is a skill set very few hitters ever achieve, because in order to learn the natural timing principles and become brutally efficient, you need a mentor. If you want to be a great hitter, again, you got to do what the best hitters do. The old way, just like the new way, has 4 dimensions where our timing signals come from. 1 is the mindset, 2 is mechanics, which is the swing timeline, 3 is timing, the pitch timeline, and 4 is the map. When all 4 signals are coming in strong, the timing map spontaneously appears, even if we don't know what we're looking at. In fact, most hitters don't express what's happening because it just feels self-evident. I call this phenomenon the 4D FIT timing model, and FIT stands for fully integrated timing. A good example of this is in soft toss. When the timing variables are reduced, your mechanics become unconscious, efficient, embodied. If you're struggling with your timing, it's helpful to get a basic definition so you can stop guessing and begin intentionally learning how to manage the timing variables. For hitters on an abstract level, the timing is a distance. We all know the formula rate times time equals distance, or the time equals the distance divided by the rate. Now bear with me. For hitters, the timing is mapped as a distance, and the speed is expressed as a beat, the beat between release and contact. Now, timing is a distance because it's our sense of depth that gives us the ability to let the ball travel across that space into just the right spot so we have enough time to get our bat to the ball. Now, one of the lesser known secrets is we have a heightened sense of depth when we intentionally build our map. The map is one of 4 dimensions that give us our timing signals. The timing signals come from these 4 areas. Number 1 is the mindset. Number 2 is the swing timeline. Number 3 is the pitch timeline. And number 4 is the map. Amateur hitters tend not to be intentional with these signals, and it starts with their map. Most hitters have a tendency to think, I already have enough to worry about. I'm already on information overload, so am I supposed to add more to my already overloaded plate? The reality is the exact opposite. The more organized you are, the better routines you develop with effective timing rehearsals. The timing rehearsals are designed to automate your timing skills and embody your ability to cope with all the timing variables. So instead of more to think about, timing becomes unconscious, like it is in soft toss. So let's get specific using the map to define some of the timing variables. And let's start with the first variable, the pitcher's motion and delivery. So what do we do with the pitcher's motion? To answer that, let me ask you this. What 2 variables give us our depth? Timing is the distance between release and contact. When does timing start? Well, when does a radar gun start reading the speed of the pitch? Not till release. So the pitcher's motion is not the movement you want to sync up with. It's a variable that needs to be filtered out. We filter out the pitcher's motion in sync release because we need to get a feel for the distance. We need a starting point, that's release, and an end point, that's contact. The good news is, if we have enough bandwidth left that's not busy chasing a feel, internally we have a natural mechanism for the speed. But only if the ball travels a definitive distance. The mechanism is a beat, the beat between release and contact. If the distance changes, the timing changes. If we get sloppy, or we're not intentional about the depth, and we're off 21/1000th of a second, that's 3 feet of travel in either direction. That could mean 3 feet too deep and we get blown up, or 3 feet out of reach and we're waving at it. In soft toss, let's say at 12 feet, it's so close, the timing variables are reduced and the timing signals are coming in strong. Intuitively, all of our bandwidth is focused in one direction, toward the ultimate goal of the activity, and that's to hit the ball hard. The 4 signals, the map, we can feel that zone in that little arc that's coming in on. It's like a virtual map that lights up. Release and contact might as well be blinking and giving us a feel for the distance. Number 2 is our mindset. The toss is predictable. We know it's coming. And number 3 is our mechanics. The map gives us so much information that we're instinctually able to conjure up our best swing. Our swing timeline locks in. We're not thinking about our mechanics. We just get to the ball on time. And number 4 is our timing. It's so close, the pitch timeline variables are easy to manage. We can feel the beat between release and contact. The old way is a mechanical model. You're chasing results, not following principles, whether it's timing or mechanical. There's 4 dimensions that are supposed to give you timing signals. First is the mindset. We're told, get a good pitch. And for the most part, that's pretty good advice. Out of impatience and frustration, you inevitably start missing pitches. You get the worst advice ever. Since you're not making adjustments, you'll hear, you got to take what they give you. And I cannot tell you how many careers that one little piece of information has ruined. All you have is uncertainty, and you're caught in between pitches. The first signal shuts down. Number 2 is mechanics. You make a million different desperate fixes, chasing a feel, chasing results. Your swing gets longer and slower when you're early. Your swing gets shorter and quicker when you're late. Adjusting mechanically makes for a quick fix, but gives you a swing timeline that lacks consistency. That's not the best long-term strategy. Signal shuts down. And number 3, you start out with a disadvantage. Because the sentiment in the mainstream, you can't teach timing. You try a few mechanical timing fixes like changing when you lift and stride, or a suggestion like you dance with a pitcher, or look for the release window. I'll show you how it seems helpful. You'll learn how there's some of the worst coping skills for managing the pitch timeline. Signal shuts down. And 4 is the map. With your signals unpredictable and weak, your map never fully lights up like it does in soft toss. In games, there's just too much uncertainty. Not to mention the threat of 95 under the armpit. I know a little bit about that. Without fully integrating the natural timing principles, you'll miss your pitch too often, and the pitching will quickly pass your ability to compete. Signal shuts down. The old way is a dead end. You have no map. It's unpredictable mindset, an unrepeatable swing timeline, unmanageable pitch timeline, a mechanical approach. You can't help but chasing results because all you have is trial and error. You're vulnerable to information overload. In the end, the old way, if you expect to reach your potential, it's a dead end. The new way, I call it the 4D FIT timing model. FIT stands for fully integrated timing in all 4 dimensions. Number 1 is the mindset. You know exactly what pitch you're looking for in the most predictable area. One pitch you're not going to miss. Number 2 is mechanics. Following the natural movement principles, your mechanics are brutally efficient with a short, repeatable swing timeline. One pitch, one swing. And 3rd is timing. From the time you get to the ballpark until game time, you're developing a mature pregame routine, continually rehearsing your timelines, matching the swing timeline with the pitch timeline by feeling the beat. One pitch, one swing timeline, one beat between release and contact. And 4 is the map. With 4 strong timing signals, your map just lights up like it does in soft toss. Your predictable zone orients your body consistently, pitch after pitch with every approach. One pitch, one timeline, one beat, and one zone. That's fully integrated timing. The 4D FIT timing model, embodied and unconscious. All the timing signals coalesce into one feel. You don't have to think, you just access it. No words fully express what you feel. Again, it's just self-evident. My name is Matt Noakes. I'm a former Major League All-Star and a Silver Slugger Award winner with the Detroit Tigers and the New York Yankees. At Timing Mastery Academy, we're an elite team of hitting coaches, and we're the best in the world at what we do, mentoring hitters with the same timing model big league hitters have followed from the beginning. There's a reason there's only been around 10,000 position players to ever reach the MLB level. In fact, I don't know of a big league hitter who didn't owe at least part, if not all, of their success to a big league mentor. Hitting is arguably the most difficult skill set to master. There was a time on my journey when I would have never made it a step further. I was 19 in A-ball, I was struggling and completely overwhelmed and overmatched. And there was no help in sight. I was at a camp 3 weeks before spring training, and Hall of Famer Frank Robinson and his hitting coach Tom McCraw sat me down over breakfast. I was scared to death. They gave me what they called the Major League Plan, and it's what I've called it ever since. I went from a green kid fighting to stay alive in A-ball to hitting .322 and leading the team in hitting, and they put me on the Major League roster that offseason. A year later, I was in the big leagues. The bottom line, it was simple. I needed help. A personal, one-on-one guidance from an expert. And it not only changed my career, it changed my life. Because when my playing days were over, I realized that my new mission was to do for you and countless other hitters like you what Frank Robinson and Tom McCraw did for me. And trust me, it's the only path to lasting transformation. Are you ready to make that kind of a transformation? To avoid the quick fixes and the latest hitting fads and all that internet chatter? And accept what it really takes to make your dreams of becoming an elite hitter a reality? Ask yourself that. It's gut check time. Because having a personal expert mentor means you're about to make the biggest commitment of your life. No more hiding behind endless videos of silly hitting training tools or easy pats on the back from your neighborhood coaches. From now on, it's just you and me. If you're serious about a lasting transformation and you're willing to work hard, we'd like to help you get started on that journey. Go to callnoaks.com and set up a strategy call. No pressure. It's got to be a good fit for both of us. We're here to help. We have an online curriculum, a powerful community of like-minded players and coaches going through similar things, and several mentorship packages, and I'm sure one of them will meet your needs. Just go to callnoaks.com to schedule a strategy call, and I look forward to connecting with you. I'm Matt Noakes, and this is Timing Mastery Academy.